Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mountainside Podcast. This is episode 50, and our guest for it is none other than Mr. Jeremy Myers, my counterpart here at the podcast. He's been with me since the beginning, and anytime I sit down with this guy is a good time. I thoroughly enjoy his company, and I'm valued to call this guy a friend.
I'm on fucking fire today, dude.
Yeah?
I don't know what I.
What conspiracy theory do we have got cooking today?
Don't you fucking worry about it, dude. Don't worry. I won't scare anybody.
No, it's all good. 3, 2, 1. We're on. Jeremy Myers in the hot seat once again. Episode 50.
Episode 50, dude. Is
Salute.
a salute.
Happy to have you here, man.
I meant to look up. I meant to look up our first time that we sat together, and I forget what the date was, but it's pretty close to a year, right?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Anna, is that something that you can look up for us? We're also joined by Anna.
Hello.
The much more pleasant voice in the background than
Pushing
me.
buttons today.
Yeah,
Push all the buttons.
That's
Don't
crazy.
judge
What if
me.
it was a year exactly or something?
I was thinking
stupid?
about that as I was driving over, and I'm like, dude, is that possible?
It is because it was episode 3, and we started at like the end of April. Right?
I know,
I
and
think.
I didn't even think about looking it up. Hold on a second. I'll just look it up on my fucking brand new phone, dude.
Oh, nice.
Hold on a second.
Hook it up on the brand
Jay.
new phone.
Here we go.
So
I got a date on it, Anna?
Yeah, it says April 16th, 2020.
Ooh.
pretty
We're
close,
a little
dude.
late. Little late.
No, but that's
But
that's
really close.
dangerously close. I mean, if you know,
Yeah, no.
you're
It's
definitely
insane.
over the target.
And you were here with me since the start of this thing, episode 1. Like, how crazy is that, right?
It's been a whirlwind, Bobby.
Did you ever imagine you'd make it to episode 50?
No, I didn't. It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because it's like I woke up this morning and I was like, oh yeah, doing this, and this, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy, man. Because I admire that about you a lot. That you know you've hit hiccups and stuff, and you know we were talking the other day, and you're just
Hey,
like,
you're
no.
not here to flatter me because it's episode 50.
Trust me. We're gonna get past that part real quick. But you know, to keep grinding through it. Not that our schedule has been difficult, but you know, just making the time and booking and keeping the studio up and getting more shit. I don't know, dude.
I
It's
can't
awesome.
believe all the guests
I-
that we've had on, too. Like, just have kind of fell into our lap, a lot of them, you know. And,
that's,
I mean, thanks to some companies noticing us. But
No, totally. But it's I don't know, man. I think it's just cool. I think it's something you should be real happy about because there are some interesting cats that you've had on. It's funny. I was also thinking that like just recently, like Special Forces guys, or sort of SEALs and Green Berets and a chopper fucking general.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the gnarliest dudes in the world. And then you got me. And
that's what I love about it, though, is we're trying to keep it real, right?
Well,
Like,
it's real. It's about to get real boring.
It's real.
But it's like can we get the most average dude in here that we can? Like just
why not?
Totally.
See, that's what I want it to be. Like, I want some of my old roadie buddies and like friends like you to come in because
But,
it
like,
gives us an excuse to sit down for an hour and a half. How often do you and I get to sit down for an hour and a half and just bullshit?
we talk about it all the time, but we don't. Hold on a second. So I'm looking at this. So you've got okay, Luke, Clay, Jeremiah. Is there a gnarlier dude than Jeremiah? By the way,
Maybe.
I
mean,
don't know.
him and Andy are pretty much on an even kill.
Pretty
Yeah.
fucking
Andy's a hard ass.
hard dudes. I imagine he is. Matt. Okay, so yeah, and I'm and then Rick Thorne, and then me. So
Hey, funny enough, speaking of Rick Thorne, he was our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
When we recorded episode 3 with you originally, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but we brought it up on that episode about having Rick Thorne on, and then all of a sudden
Oh, get
it
the
was
fuck
like
outta here.
episode 49.
I need
We
to
were
go back
talking
and listen
about
to
the
that. That's
movie
so funny.
Rad and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we thought it would be great to do a watch party with Rick Thorne to the movie
fuck,
Rad.
dude.
And then in episode 49 with him, the last one that we did, He's like, I hate that fucking movie.
Well, it was funny because I listened. He's like, "Well, I don't hate it," because he
Yeah.
knew he would get a bunch of geeks messaging him about that movie. But
Right.
What movie?
This movie, God. Okay,
Oh my
now this
gosh,
is
there we go.
Hold
We're
on a
going
second.
down a good
Hold on
road.
a second. This is the other thing about chicks. We were talking about how good they are. They also don't know rad. So
Right.
all right, that's going in the other. That's a checkbox in the other department. Good at most things, don't know rad.
I don't know what rad.
No,
means.
it's
a total 80s
It's
movie. Yeah.
long before you were born, and it's a bad movie, and it makes you feel good inside.
But as a kid, if you watch that as a 5-year-old young male, we weren't boys back then, we were young men. You were expected to like have your own entertainment, and you couldn't like. I don't think. Did you watch it on VHS?
Yeah.
Or okay, I don't think I had a VHS at that point. I think I saw it at the movie theater. Pretty sure one of my uncles took me, and then after that, all I wanted to do was ride my bike.
That's
nonstop.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we get home from
was-
school, watch it, and go out and ride my bike. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's so funny. Every freaking thing with me ends up coming back to this stupid movie, and it's not even a good movie. It's like, and
It's a
everybody
horrible
always
movie.
everybody always brings, "Hey, dude, rad." I got T-shirts, I've got stickers. I've got the collector's edition is sitting on the coffee table at my house. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. And it's
Well, they just
I can't go a week.
remastered it. It can't be
go a
that
week.
dumb because they just remastered it.
Oh no,
and put
because
it
there's
out
a bunch
on
of
Apple
me
and-
out there
Yeah.
that'll buy that kind of
I
shit.
bought it.
Yeah,
I showed it to my kids. I was like, "Here, you got to watch this movie," and they're like, "What is this shit?"
I'm not watching this shit.
I'm like, "Don't worry, Gleaming the Cube is next."
oh
you
my
know?
god, yeah, two staples, but you know, you go on Instagram and you see what these dudes are doing, and then you go onto Instagram and you see what's happening out there now, and you're just like, why am I watching this? It's like watching drag races and then watching horse and buggies and going, the horse and buggies where it's at. You know,
Right.
it's like just it's a completely different world. But
No,
yeah,
it's pretty wild.
so that's
But
that's
shout
that
out
movie.
to Rick
But
Thorne for staying 50 and doing what he's doing and just being a rad guy. Like
That was
we
really
rented an Airbnb in
Yeah.
West Hollywood, and he showed up on his bike.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome
I'm
guy.
I'm bummed that I missed that. That would
That's
have been
all right.
a,
We're gonna
that would
do
have
it
been
again.
that would have been a cool one, dude. That
Rick was into it,
friggin- I want to get off this movie definitely.
Yeah.
but a watch party for that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just totally necessary. So anyway.
We'll do it. We'll do it at some point. Dude, we got to get down to the shooting range this
We
week.
did. We went shooting. We were doing cool stuff. I
Shout
guess.
out to Bristol Cone.
Yeah, that was
setting us up down there. That was that was my first time going onto their range. I mean, I'd been by the place. I knew how big it was. I've seen plenty of pictures of it, but like to walk in and see that operation, I was like, wow, this is impressive.
dude.
man.
Another one. It's like, holy shit, who does this?
Right.
Like a building and all the liability involved in that and everything. Like
And the digital targets that like you saw that you could like 45 those.
sideways 45
Yeah.
or 90 them. Yeah, it was I don't know when this happened to me, what age I hit, but when I start walking into places and going, ooh, this must be a lot to insure. Like who does that? I don't even know when that started happening to me. But I'm
like a grown up.
whoa, dude, this
Yeah.
guy's taking on a lot of liability here. This is something else. And then the paperwork. Oh my God, the paperwork in that place. That'll get you put in jail if you fuck something up on that
Right.
paperwork. Oh my God, who goes into that business? What kind of a psycho? And that's what goes through my head
And they
every
couldn't
time.
be nicer people, the people that own
No,
it.
no, and that's the kind of people
Yeah.
who go into it. But it's funny because I walk in there and that's where my head goes instead of wow, look at that wall of guns or anything. Like I
Right.
don't know. There's something wrong with.
Well,
me.
I learned real
But-
quick that I don't shoot enough because, funny enough, I
Dude,
am more accurate with. Yes,
We don't shoot enough because holy cow,
I saw your target, dude.
that house is going to be
Your
real
human
upset.
target would his arms wouldn't have moved at all. He wouldn't have been able to grab.
I
his
was
gun.
only showing the law enforcement what everybody wants him to do. The president said shoot him in the arm, and I just was showing the law enforcement guys who might have been there
Right.
exactly what to do.
Don't
you go.
accidentally grab your Glock and mistake it for your taser.
Jesus Christ. Fucking
It's
amazing.
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
not funny.
Yeah, that
actually.
wasn't-
It's pretty
It's
bullshit.
not funny. Right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I learned real quick that I'm a better shot with my bow just because I put the time in. At 40 yards, I can hit probably the size of an orange, right? A group. At 40 yards with my pistol, I don't even know if I'd hit a human target.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you see the you watch the just YouTube guys. You know, you can click on any of them, and they've got that plate-sized piece of steel, and they're reviewing a gun, right? Opening it up. So, you know, first time with this, blah blah blah. Loaded. This is the ammo I'm using. Blah 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 blah. And then king, ping, king, ping, and I'm like, dude, that's 25 yards or whatever. That this guy's just pinging off stuff, and you and I are throwing bullets downrange like idiots.
We did all right. We weren't that bad.
No, but you've.
But if you break into my house, you better be 8 yards from me, or if not, you're getting wounded. It's going to be a slow death.
Hopefully, I'm just praying that someone's like 500 pounds who breaks into my house. I'm definitely going to hit them.
Hey, as long as their blood's on the inside of your house, it's not your problem, man.
Yep, and
that's some West
they
Virginia
just
law
need to be
coming in
big.
right there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We don't call the cops.
I forgot. You're cool.
Yeah.
I completely forgot West Virginia. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're redneck hillbilly as it gets, man.
I mean,
Perfect. Good.
there's just definitely a line in the sand for protecting yourself. It's just I don't know that I would be very efficient if I had to. If it came down
Dude,
to it,
and you get that
crazy.
heart rate up and adrenaline, and everything. And
It
that's
made
why
me
you keep
wanna
on-
go back.
No,
Yeah.
totally. And you keep on telling me we need to go do it. We need to go do it. And I'm always like, yeah, you're right. But like seriously, like we need to talk. We need to reach out to somebody because God forbid, man.
We've had plenty of people on this podcast that can shoot, and they've all offered to give us
ton,
lessons.
dude. And, like, my
Did
God.
we take them up on it? Never.
Like you're in traffic, and you get into it with somebody, and you get that adrenaline dump, and you're like, you're not paying attention how fast you're going, if you have to shift or whatever. Imagine that, but you have a loaded weapon in your hand, and it's life or death. Not just that guy's an asshole, and he gave me the finger, and whatever, and you feel that little spike of adrenaline, and you stop paying attention to things. Christ, imagine having a weapon in your hand.
Well, the
at that point.
closest that I've come is have a bear charge. Or a bear within close proximity.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I'm sure it's totally different with a human. I mean, but
the most dangerous prey.
dude,
I think
crazy
there's
though.
a book about this.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's many books about it.
But that, and like you kind of get that same feeling elk hunting too. I mean, when an elk comes in and bugles and it's 10 yards from you, it is a massive animal.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah.
No.
It'll make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. But I'd still feel more comfortable with my bow, which is the sad thing.
I don't know.
Than,
That's
I,
not
than
sad.
I would with a
Dude,
handgun.
I want you on my team.
Yeah.
When the shit goes down, dude, you're gonna be like the ninja. Like no bangs.
The only problem is you have to go retrieve your arrows at some point.
That's cool.
You know
You
what
should
I mean?
just need a ton.
Right.
So
I need those exploding tips like Rambo had.
You need to just be lurking in the shadows with that. You've got to.
But I do
You've
have
got
a
a spot
gun
on my
problem
on my
a little
team.
bit. Like after going and shoot, I went straight over to the gun counter and started looking at all the other guns. I was like, oh, I want that. I want this. You know,
Yeah.
They're fun, man. They're fun to shoot more than anything.
And it's funny because so many things are funny. I start so many sentences like that. It drives me insane. But everyone says, that's addictive, the shooting and buying guns. And if you caught me 10 years ago and said, oh, yeah, it's something that we'll be into, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Never. That's not what I'm.
Right.
That's not what I'm. Why have... it's like a car. You do, you have one, and then you go point A to point. And it's like, no, it's not like that at all. You want a selection, and never imagine that would be my where my.
Well, it was fun just taking down there what we did the other day because we had so many different calibers between you and me, and you and I only brought 2 guns, but we had 4 different calibers between those 2 guns, so we were able to swap
Switch back and forth,
lanes,
yeah,
and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to pick up something else.
And that little shooting 22 is fun. It reminded me of when I was a kid, and my dad would just hand me be careful with that, and you're
Right.
ting ting ting.
Well, it's like when we took your son.
Yeah,
shooting. He was just like, "Hey, can you shoot that again, please? Please,
Yeah,
please."
yeah.
It's like nonstop.
Well, you got Noodles' arms.
Then on the
I mean,
way
that's
home,
fine.
on the way home, he was like, "Dad, we got to
We got to get one of those, man. Oh my gosh. We got to get a lot of things
Right.
with according to him. There's a long, expensive list of
Right.
shit that we need that he's assembled.
Has he hit you up yet? Because I know you're a car guy. Like, you drive a 1980s Porsche. You got all kinds of different little car toys and projects and stuff like that. Has he hit you up about a car yet? Does he know what he's going to drive or what he thinks he's going to drive? Or
Yeah, kind of. But like he's a geek too, and I mean, obviously you end up when you're his age, you end up being into whatever your dad's into usually.
Yeah.
But all-wheel drive and fast. So like
Right.
you grow up here, you want a Subaru or an Evo. Like he wants an Evo Lancer, like something like a little bit obscure, but like not that obscure, but like something that he can.
But he's not prodding at you yet. Like, hey, Dad, this is
what's actually cool. Like he loves that old GTI that I got, that old Volkswagen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, dude, this is awesome, and it's slow, and it's loud, and it's got no comfort, wind up windows and everything, and like we'll be driving around in it, and he'll go, "Oh God, man, these wind up windows are really neat."
because he's never had that,
Because
right?
he's never had it.
Oh,
and
it's
he's
like vintage now.
It's
It's like a novelty. Oh,
It's
wow,
a
I
total
can
novelty.
roll up the window.
This is cool. This is way different than the electric.
Oh, there's
he
a
actually
photo
said,
of it,
He
and
actually
it's
said
all
to me,
over.
he goes, well, this seems like something that won't break. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even prompt that. Like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Dude, you got roof racks for both of them now? That's
Both of them,
the
dude.
Jay Myers
Listen, we're in
signature
Colorado.
right there.
I got to put shit on the roof.
Yeah.
It's,
got shit to do.
I got shit to do. I got
Places to
stuff to put
go.
on top of it.
I see you
Activities.
driving by with those cases of Corona from Costco.
It happens.
racks, yeah.
It happens. I look for any excuse to drive dumb cars around.
It's crazy. I might have told you this already, but where was it? It was actually parked right here the other day. I saw for the first time a Lamborghini SUV.
The silver one.
Yeah, I was
Dude,
like,
I wanted to go. So
first
I
of
was,
all, who drives that?
exactly what I was just about to say. I
My Lamborghini doesn't fit the soccer team in it, so I gotta,
I can't
Hold
not
on.
drive the Lambo.
You're right.
honey, we're taking the Lambo to soccer practice. It's hold on a second. Where are you? This is how much of an asshole I am. There's that.
Oh yeah,
That's me.
it's parked
driving
right
through-
in front of the studio.
Driving through that intersection yesterday.
Yeah,
Taking that picture of that truck that was sitting there. So I was going to pick my kids up or something, but that's what I wanted to do was go in. I am getting off this diet, so I want to go have a beer at the bait shack. But yeah, right. And but B, I wanted to go in there and find the guy who did that and just go, all right, what's your deal?
Yeah.
Because who's the guy who does that? I've also seen him driving like fucking maniac. Like,
Really?
Like really letting it go. Not that I care
this
or
is
anything.
small town shit.
I know,
Right?
but it was like I was like, oh damn, that thing's fast in traffic once. But I was like, yeah, I really want to know who does that, and I bet it's a realtor
You think so?
because you can put people in it. Obviously, you sell your stuff.
Right.
You've got a Lambo. I bet you it's some maniac realtor. Because I mean, why not? You're making a
I just
fortune
wonder.
here now.
He's either really, really cool, or the exact opposite of that.
I don't know, dude. I think that's a pretty cool thing. That's a pretty niche
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and
I'd
I
drive it.
I enjoy assholes and pompous
You're an East Coaster.
stuff like that. I know.
Hey, watch it.
No, there's different East Coasters, but I do. I enjoy big characters, and that's a character that drives that. So
Definitely.
I definitely wanted to go in and just be like, all right. Not that you couldn't pick somebody like
Well,
that
that's
out.
funny. That's my first reaction.
It's definitely not your regular dude at the bait shack.
Right. It's not that I'm curious about the car at all. I'm just that's the first thought that
person.
comes to my head is like, who
that
drives
guy?
that?
Yeah.
Who spends the money on that?
I don't know. somebody with and that's a deliberate move right there. You don't accidentally like buy yourself too, like you can go into a dealership with way too much money and walk out with a race car.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God,
Oh,
what
how
did I
that
just
happen?
do? You know, like, oh my God, I don't
Right.
know how to drive
Well,
this.
I didn't need a Z06 Corvette.
Exactly.
I came here for a Honda Civic.
I'm not a track guy, but this is meant for the track. That's a family hauler, but it's a Lambo, which is awesome. So the old ones, when I was a kid, so like we were talking about like rad stuff.
He
like
doesn't
vintage
show up
stuff.
at Cars and Coffee, huh?
I haven't seen him yet. No, I would tell him to. I'd love to check it out. But
What
like,
if it's a her? It could be a her.
no, it's a dude. Okay. Yeah. I've seen him, but there's from the 80s. You got to look this up. There was a only like sheiks drove them and stuff. It was so cool. It was like one of those things that you'd never lay eyes on. If from the in the 80s, it was I forget, it was an LP.
Remember the Mercedes with the Goldwing door? The Mercedes
yeah, dude.
Goldwing, right? Is that what it was?
SL500.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is,
What
right
you
there,
mean?
the red one. So they don't work.
They
like
don't
they're no, that was the wrong one.
No,
But no,
that's
they
the wrong one.
super cool looking. Sheiks and stuff drove them. Like in the 80s, they all had, they were the ultra rich, and they got.
But Lambo door's still open like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of them, but the depending on which model. But there was that old school, the old school truck, was really cool, and then they've come out with the newer one, but
A long time ago when I was doing staging, we're going way back when, we were in Vegas doing a gig, and I'd been there probably 100 times at that point, right? So
Right.
you're used to Vegas. We're walking down the strip, me and some buddies to the bars. We got this new kid with us that had never been in Vegas. And you know how they have like the signs and the Ferraris and
that's how
stuff
you get in
parked out
fucking
there,
trouble.
right?
Yeah,
It
it's
says-
that
it
one there.
says-
Yeah. What are they? That's LMO2. Yeah, whatever it is. Anyway.
Oh, that SUV?
Yeah, dude, thing's rad. Look at that thing.
Really? I never even seen one of those.
No, dude, I'm a wealth of useless knowledge.
There's one
These
made into a
things-
limousine?
No, they would never do that to one of those.
Looks like a fucking Jeep, man.
It does. Yeah.
That
Click on that thing. Yeah.
Good
That's it.
God, what is that?
Look at that, dude. How freaking cool is that?
Wow.
So you got the whole chic outfit, and you're driving through the desert in one of those. Those are the only guys who had them.
That's
But yeah,
oil
those
money
are-
right
that's
there.
it was straight oil money.
Yeah.
Dude, how
That's
Dude,
insane.
it's
Hey, Anna, will you
gorgeous.
screenshot that so we can
That
share it
thing's
on the
sick.
video?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, so what did you go to the supercar experience thing in
No,
Vegas?
we were there doing like some sort of concert, some big event concert. It might have been an iHeart or something. And there's this kid, Kenny, from the East Coast. The guy had never left like northern New Jersey.
Kenny
right?
from the East Coast. Dude,
Kenny
that's
from the
that is
East Coast.
such a perfect.
Is that racist, dude?
No, no, but that's a perfect name for just.
This
Kenny
guy
from the
looked like
East
a
Coast,
Kenny.
dude.
I
That
mean, he
should be
had
like-
long
Awesome.
hair.
Perfect.
Kenny G style.
Dude,
you
it
know?
is a. There are many Kennys.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
my man Kenny from the East Coast.
This is East Coast Kenny.
But
Like
we're
he's dropping an album soon.
it's his first night in Vegas. We're giving him the whole tour. We're walking down to one of the sleazy bars on the strip, and this dude rolls up in a Lamborghini at the stoplight, right where we're getting ready to go across the crosswalk, and he's by himself. And my buddy Kyle that does Show Ready podcast with me goes, "Hey, dude, this is this kid's first time in Vegas. Give him a ride in the car." And the guy's like, "Nah." And he's like,
That's
"Come on, man. It's his first time in Vegas,
fucking
dude.
awesome.
He's never left the East Coast." And the guy's like, "Get in." And they just took off. So ever since then, Kenny's got dubbed as his nickname is Lambo.
Dude, that's way cooler than East Coast Kenny. Hey, Lambo.
Yeah, Lambo's way.
He will
cooler.
forever be known as Lambo.
So the first time, Vegas is such a trap.
Yeah.
It is the first time you go there. It's trouble, especially if you go there with people who have been there, and they can. It's actually good because they can gauge and moderate it and steer you around all the trouble that you're definitely going to get
Or
into.
get you in more trouble.
Oh boy, man. But yeah, that's that place is scary. I can't say that I and I haven't worked there that much. But the times I have, there's always been one night where I'm like, whoa, boy, do I regret that one.
I
You know,
used
that
to
was
spend a ton of time there.
fucking
Not
place
anymore.
never closes.
Yeah.
It's like there's no sign. Like when I get to a certain point, I need a little bit of adult supervision that's kind of letting me know, all right,
We know.
We've been drinking for 8 hours.
We know.
yeah, that's right. You've been the adult, but it's like the and not grabbing you by the back of the collar and taking you out, but just like, okay, hey, we got to wind this down and start
it's closing time,
and it just never happens.
There is no closing time.
It just happens
Yeah.
there. I mean,
except for COVID, that shut it down.
Jesus Christ! Oh, well, I drove through there over the for Thanksgiving, and no
The strip
traffic,
was
no
just
nothing. It was
shut
super
down,
weird.
huh?
But I remember my buddy Jason, and I'm sure you've seen 100 of these, but again, not being there that much. But having a late night, your crew's spread all over. You're rolling in with a couple of guys. It's 2. We got to be in the room at 6:30, 7. And you see your buddy just hammering down. You walk past a roulette wheel, and you just see him. He's like, "I'm on a fucking roll," and you're like, "All right, dude. 4 hours, and I need to see you ready to go."
Right.
And if it's your,
it's a different thing partying in Vegas than
I don't know
working
that
in
he'd ever
Vegas.
hear it.
Yeah.
I can't give away it was bad enough that I just gave away the name, but it's an important job.
Right.
We're really you're kind of really important here, and there's a lot of people that you're going to need to talk to tomorrow. You might not want to smell like rum.
Right.
I'm just spitballing here, but these are a couple of things that I'd take into consideration.
You might want 2 hours of sleep and
Might
maybe a
want-
shower.
Might want 2 hours, and he's like, "It's fucking $2,000,
Right.
$2,000 up," and I'm like, "Well, how do you tell this guy to turn it off?" But
You say, take your $2,000 and say thank you.
oh yeah,
and
that
go
usually
home.
that works.
That always works.
Yeah, that's what you do. Try to reason with people. That's what that always
hey,
works.
dude, nobody wins in Vegas when you have $2,000.
Doesn't work. But yeah, I'm glad to. I have friends that live there, and my God, how do you live in a place?
I got
like
a
that?
lot of friends that live there. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean it's man,
I couldn't
right around
do
the
it.
corner. There's
Yeah.
a lot of temptation. It is a wild place.
It is. What you got any car projects going on right now? Other than
Oh yeah, I have a
GTI?
really expensive old Volkswagen that I bought without telling my wife, and then
How'd that go over?
Oh, it was awesome. And then during COVID, so when work is low, and I'm like, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna buy cars as investments.
Right.
that doesn't work. So yeah, I got that, and then brought it home, parked it over the winter, and then brought it back out to try to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Is that
with
the
it.
GTI?
GTI.
Okay.
And then I figured out that there's there's a couple of
That
things.
thing's
wrong.
in good
There's
shape,
it's in-
though, right?
it's
The
in-
interior
it's
is
in sick
immaculate.
shape. She's just got to trust me on this one. It's a
Yeah.
very desirable car, but it's it needs a couple of mechanical things. And for as much as I enjoy cars, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing mechanically. I like getting in them and driving them and owning them, and staring at them and talking about them. But boy, you don't want me taking anything apart. And a couple of things need to be fixed on it. So yeah, I've got that down in the shop, but I don't know. We'll see.
So you
I
being
might
a
sell
car
it.
guy, I've never really been a car guy. I've always been into motorcycles. I guess I'm into trucks a little bit, but do you have a dream car? I mean, do you own it?
I
Is
own
that Porsche?
Yeah,
Yep.
but there's dudes who do these things up. But that's it.
Right.
I already have it. I don't deserve any of the shit that I have, but that's fucking.
Yeah, you do.
I hit it out of the
Come
park with that
on.
move. But yeah, dude, that's it. That was always a dream. Hey, you can buy a Lamborghini SUV, but what's that going to be in 20 years?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to go, "Phew, Lamborghini was making SUVs."
What a mistake with that
Wow.
was.
I don't.
People
I've-
bought those?
Totally. Yeah. Who the hell was buying those? And then there's something very special about that.
So I've been hammering through the Jack Carr books. We both have got a little addicted on that. So
Yeah.
it's kindled a little bit of interest in the Land
in a Land Cruiser, dude. It's funny.
And it's funny because now it's popping up on all these podcasts like Rogan and Mike Glover and all these guys. Everybody's driving these
No,
things
they
now.
all get it, and it's always been like this. It's not even a subculture. It's already known, but those things are about to go out the through the roof because
Like you're not going to be able to touch them price-wise? Is that what you're
no,
talking
and
about?
and well, they already are, dude. We have a friend. I'm not going to say his name, but he's been restoring them during COVID. He's restored 2 of them, so he buys them in pretty good condition, and then he's got all these skills, and just said, oh, I'm going to learn how to do this. And like is not afraid to do it. My God, I'm afraid to take a buffing wheel to my car because I'm afraid I'm going to fuck it up. He goes, well, I'm going to learn how to weld this week. And I'm like, are you sure that you want to do that on this Land Cruiser? And he's like, well, I'm not going to pay somebody to do it. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I wish I was like you. So yeah, he went and bought a welder and started buying all kinds of equipment, and now he restores Land Cruisers while he's not doing his regular gig. Like
That's
he totally
awesome.
just picked up, and that's what he does now. And like you can buy a night, especially around here. There's
a bunch of them
There
here.
are a dime a dozen. They're all rusted, but then there's some good ones you can get a hold of. So he gets a hold of like kind of good ones and fixes everything. But so one of his trucks just went for $30,000. I think it was a $6,000 truck
Wow.
when he got it, and he just brought it to that level. And probably they're going to be even
Yeah, maybe I will.
even higher. I mean, because stuff like this, like what he's doing with how popular these books are getting and everything, it drives.
Have you
these
made it through the
brands.
Devil's Hand
I
yet?
made it through everything. I'm a geek. Really? Oh, dude, I was pretending to listen to my family with my
I'm on like
AirPods in
chapter 80 of Savage Son, which is the third one, and
yeah. So
they're
like,
fucking incredible, man. Just
They're-
because
they're-
of the way he describes, it's almost like it's a nonfiction book, but it's fiction, you know.
yeah. It's-
Especially because we know some of the people that are in those books, so
yeah, which is
or some of the characters that he portrays.
right, which is
Yeah.
just ridiculous. But the so the one point when fuck, I don't want to ruin anything. But
Spoiler alert, here we go.
Spoiler alert. Skip
But-
ahead to
but,
blah blah time code.
Yeah, I don't have it. I didn't time code it. But the so our character, our hero, gets his Land Cruiser all. It was a junker, and he had to get rid of it because he has to drop off the grid. So his buddy keeps it because he knows that he'll regret it, and sends it out somewhere. And I'm listening to it, and I'm a geek, and I'm like, oh man, it'd be really cool if he sent it out to Jonathan Ward at Icon. Like, and then he goes, the next book.
Right.
They reveal this thing, and he goes, oh man, where did you get this from? He goes, you don't recognize it? And he goes, well, no. And he goes, this is your old truck. And I'm like, oh, say it's Icon, because
Yeah.
I'm such I dweeb out about this stuff.
And those trucks play such an intricate role in the
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that happens in
And
in
of
that.
course,
Yeah.
he goes, this has been done up by Icon. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm the coolest. I know all
Awesome.
about this
I
stuff.
strongly
But-
urge you, if you haven't checked out Jack Carr as an author, you need to. It's
Oh, and check
incredible.
out anything that Jonathan Ward does at Icon. To talk about Jack Carr and his books. Like, I hope I can meet him and talk to him someday, because he's kind of sculpting what this like perfect dude should have. He should have a cool truck. He should know about wine. He should know how to cook.
right.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't know any of these things. But he's like, the character has a little bit of a knowledge about all these different things. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's sculpting this dude to be just like,
Right.
which is a great branding move. He's going to be able to
Well,
attract
Chris Pratt's playing his character, right?
right, and he's also going to be able to suck every woman out of the house to go and see these things, which would otherwise be a shoot 'em up terrorist thing.
Yeah, there's a romance side to,
To
it.
a
little bit.
romance.
I was like,
I
wait
wish-
a minute, am I reading a romance novel right now?
Dude, so
I almost skipped some chapters.
I will skip this chapter.
But it's
Don't
not,
mess with me.
so there's a little romance, but then there's also
It doesn't help when you're listening to the audiobook and it's a male doing a female's voice. Jack, that's the only bone I got to pick with you, buddy.
Jack.
a little boner killer there, but it's but the I just think it's genius, and a lot of these dudes, you're talking to Andy, these guys are just branding masters, and he's going to be able to drag women to the theater, whatever. if
Anna,
that's in
have
the
you
house
checked these
or-
out yet?
No.
You need to.
You will.
You'll.
It's
Okay.
it's going to be huge, but the because women are going to be drawn to the character. I mean, I don't.
The other thing I love about Jack Carr is like he's around our age, right? So grew up in the 80s. He might be a few years older than us or younger. I'm not sure, but
I've been finding that a lot of dudes that I think are older are actually younger than me because
really, Still young at heart.
I'm still young at heart, dude. I don't know. Something weird's happening, and I'm
but he's got a lot of
getting
like
left.
that 80s reference when it comes to like building a character, like, you know, the characters that Sylvester Stallone played and Arnold Schwarzenegger and that sort of like action. It kind of feels like he's bringing some of that action back, but in a more realistic way, you know?
The other cool thing is like when it does turn to action, you're like, you wait. You think that they're like, oh, we're going to pause this, and then we're going to build up what could be. And he goes, no, fuck that. Boom. Yeah. This starts happening. And it, like that. And you're like, oh, shit, he's not even going to mess around. He's going right into it. He stabbed somebody in the throat. Okay.
Right.
A minute ago, he was just looking down the street, like seeing what was going on. So, yeah, that was I don't know, man. I'm not much of a reader.
The 80s was so different, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was getting at. Like, I had weird shit happen to me as a kid. Like, at one point, we were in Denver, but like some of me and my buddies, we weren't even supposed. We lived up here. I don't even know what the hell we were doing down there. And we had a van pull up, and these dudes like tried to like get us to hop in the van. I was like, strange shit like that.
That's some East Coast shit right there, dude.
That's some East Coast shit. Right
You grew up in Philly?
Outside
of Philly.
But
we have any weird shit like that?
No, but we were talking about. I'm pretty sure it was you. The white van with the speakers.
Oh yeah, the speakers. The guy that sold speakers.
And it's like
yeah.
That was a nationwide thing. Every time I meet somebody and I bring that up, they all go, "Oh yeah, that happened." I'm like, "Where did you grow up?" They're like, "Oh, Orlando," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, it was a franchise.
Another guy. I'm like, "Where'd you grow up?" And
speakers
he's like,
full of sand, right?
Dude,
it was the speaker boxes, right?
I tell him we had these guys back in the day. It was so funny, you know. This white van would pull up, and the guys had speakers. And the guys like, "I'm from Sacramento. Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Philadelphia." And I'm like, "This happened nationwide."
Right.
So it's like it's definitely a thing. But that was it. Yeah, growing up where I did, and it was more rural suburbs. It's completely different now, but it wasn't nearly as weird like as the shit you see on the news. Philadelphia was just completely different than it is now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do my typical shitting on Philadelphia for 45 minutes.
There.
Oh boy.
Did we get some hate mail from your last one.
I wouldn't call them fans.
I also did feed you a bottle of whisky too during that podcast. So
yeah, I remember that.
And it was Christmas.
I remember
it was a Christmas party.
I remember tasting the whiskey. The rest of it is kind of a little bit of a bar. But and speaking of, this is my again. You have superheroes on.
Oh yeah, how does that beer taste? Because
dude, this is the weirdest thing in the world. Is
I know it's just an average Corona, but
no, but it's what I'm into.
What'd you do? You did a 30-day no drugs, alcohol.
The drugs, alcohol. No, I'm not a
chips.
I'm not a drug guy anyway. I just can't. Not that I'm like, listen, kids. It's just doesn't work. But the my wife does this like 2 or 3 times a year, and it's 30 days of just like, I don't know, good foods and no carbs and no booze and no anything. And my God, what a difference! And
I'm ruining it right now.
No, I ruin it because of me, but because and I wanted to bring this up because you understand, and I should have done this earlier this year, not traveling as much because it's impossible to do on the road. It's just impossible. Forget about it. You're eating junk, and that's how I've lived for a decade and a half, eating like junk. At like a craft services style thing, and then what do you do after you're done? You go out to the bar, and it's like, wow, that's been a long time.
Couple times that we've traveled for the podcast, I mean, we've been to some amazing restaurants and had some nice dinners. Don't get me wrong, but like for the most part, it's just different than not being at home. It's like I've gotten so used to cooking on the Traeger grill and like having a meal plan for dinner every night, right? Like,
well, I don't, but my wife's like,
yeah.
So
well,
on that
between
shit.
me and my wife,
yeah.
right? We typically cook for the family. We don't go out much. There's an occasional night that the kids want pizza or something, so we'll order it in. But for the most part, we have something planned, and the quality of food and the way that it makes you feel hands down, it's totally different. And then you get out on the road and you're like, why am I tired right now?
I know, 100%.
I haven't done
dude.
anything. I'm like,
Totally.
what the fuck?
Highly recommend marrying somebody that can cook. Like mine is, boy, would it be a nightmare for my my kids.
Yeah.
Like God forbid. I'm pretty confident that everything would chug along pretty well if I was taken out of the picture.
We need to get some
because
chefs on the
things are
podcast.
just-
Yeah.
Do we? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we do.
but the it's, in terms of cooking, it's just I'm totally spoiled. So my point being that with this particular thing that I did was, wiping all the bad shit out and a plan and some maniac hovering over top of me going, "What are you doing in the fridge?"
So did the whole family do it?
No.
Oh,
You
well,
can't-
shit,
you
that's
can't
even
have,
harder,
You
yeah.
can't have kids doing this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I went through that. Dude, dropped 15 in 30,
I was gonna
in
say
30
you
days.
look good. I can see it in your face.
Dropped
man.
15 in 30 days. What the fuck?
What?
Well, which I'm not exactly Brad Pitt in Fight Club right now.
Were you
But
working
it was,
out or anything, or just
Dude,
eating?
dude, it's enough to
Right. But
just.
you're a pretty active guy. Like you
It's-
ski and
Yeah, but
do.
it's enough to just feel like angry enough to be doing this to yourself food wise. When to not add, I got to get up at 5 and work out into the element
Right.
too. But that's another thing I need to fix. But but anyway,
We're not here to
went through
fix
that.
you, man.
I need to. Bobby, I need
This
some
is
help.
not the fixing podcast. It's the
I'm not Dr. Phil over here. Okay.
Nothing here, trust me. But yeah, so anyway, it's my actually I had an IPA, but that was the first beer in 31 days.
Well,
So it
cheers
was,
to that, man.
Yeah,
You
dude,
look good.
cheers.
Keep it
Thanks.
up,
Cheers to
dude.
that, man.
Yeah, like I said, not exactly gonna win any contests, but feeling better. The funniest thing about the entire thing is sleep, and I hear all these.
Like you're getting better sleep.
Oh
or?
my God! You hear all these people talking about how sleep's important, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, yeah, if I got like 4.
So explain this though to me. Like you say, you're not eating crappy. So what would you consider like?
I don't know.
Eating
You
healthy,
have to
like-
talk to my wife. But no, I'm kidding.
But like cutting out just real food, right? Like
Yeah, it's meat and vegetables and
Nothing
and no,
processed.
no booze, no processed, no
preservatives.
So you
no
said no
preservatives, no
carb?
dairy.
No
Oh,
dairy.
that's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I know, right?
How do you survive without cheese, my man?
Dude?
Dude.
This fucking struggle is real. It's again, we have a bunch of superheroes who
We're
come
talking
on
to
here.
Anna back
We
there
have-
that's got a metabolism
I
of
know,
like
I
a
know.
fucking
Like,
tiger,
like
dude.
110 pounds.
I eat like 2 large pizzas a day.
Yeah,
weigh
it's awesome.
100 pounds.
Yeah, these dudes in here have a problem when it comes to that. But yeah, again, we have the SEALs who come on here, and then I have me go, man, I made it all the way through a 30-day diet. I can basically
No,
sit-
man, it's good for you, man.
No.
You
But
look
I mean,
good too. so.
I feel like I can probably sit at a table with those dudes, and I kind of feel like I've been that warrior.
Yeah. You've been to battle,
Yeah,
right?
I've been to battle.
With
They
yourself.
wouldn't kick me out.
Yeah.
Kick me out of the table.
No,
The best
all
part
relative,
about those
man.
I've been
guys,
through it.
honestly, the best part about those guys is I've been around them, and I've been around them a lot in the business that we're in, and a lot of times they fall into a protection role. But I found that they're like the most down to earth people that you'll meet. That
Yeah,
just
I'm
tell you how it
joking.
is, and like
I'm joking.
you would think that they would sit there and size you up and judge you, and they probably are. Like, how could I kill this
Just
guy?
better-
Maybe.
they're better at hiding it. They're trained to
But
hide
for the
it.
most part, like you've met Jeremiah and some of
Yeah,
those dudes,
no.
and they're just the salt of the earth. Good
no,
people.
I totally agree. It's just funny to think about the contrast, which was all that I was thinking about the past couple of
Yeah.
days. I was like, oh Christ, like in past couple have been really impressive.
No, it's
do I
good.
flesh
That's why I
that out?
wanted to do this. And also, Anna, I'm going to cue you in here because Anna's got the details on.
Dude, this black and white looks hilarious.
It's awesome,
He looks-
isn't it?
It does,
think-
but he looks like he was like pulled out of some Soviet camp. And that's hilarious.
That's real life, man.
Yeah, so what's that? What's a giveaway? I don't mean to.
It's all good. So we're doing a giveaway because it's our 50th episode,
Whoop, whoop.
and some of our sponsors have stepped up to the plate, and There's a couple different ways that you can help support the Mountainside Podcast, and also be entered to win. What could they win, Anna?
Oh my gosh, you guys don't even know the hookup we have ready for you right now. So we have Pure Spectrum and Onnit have teamed up for this giveaway we're doing for y'all. So we're basically just trying to reward you for your love and for your support. So we have about $200 worth of Pure Spectrum CBD products and Onnit Total Human supplements, which are basically like your alpha brain supplements. It's everything juicy to keep you going at your peak performance all day, every day. And we're hooking up our winner with a week's supply of the Total Onnit, the Onnit Total Human Performance, plus all of our awesome
And I'm going to
CBD
interrupt you here real
products.
quick, too. The
Hop
coolest thing
in.
about this is if you already follow us on Instagram or if you've already been supporting us on Patreon, you're going to automatically be entered in this. It's not for just like for us to try to build our fan base bigger. If it does, great. But this is a giveaway to all of the people that have been listening to us from the get-go. And if you want to get in on it, you can too.
Totally, yeah. So if you're a ride or die and you've been here for a while, like we're not leaving you out of this. You're already entered. You already have your entry. So basically the way it works is if you go on our Instagram and you follow the Mountainside Podcast, you get one entry. If you direct message us the words giveaway
If you're
on
already a
Instagram.
follower. Yep.
Yeah. If you're already a follower, just send us a message. And again, if you're already a follower, like we got you. We got your entry already. Now, if you want some extra entries, you're really into this Pure Spectrum Onnit giveaway we're doing, you can join on our Patreon. Our Patreon is awesome. This is where you're going to get your cool behind the scenes looks. This is where you get your extra Mountainside Podcast content. So if you join at the $1 tier, you get one entry automatically. But if you join at higher tiers, you get more entries. So if you join at $5, you get 5 entries, $10, 10 entries, so on. If you are a real homie and you're out there at the $25 tier, like you have a total of like 27 entries in this giveaway. So, if you have time, come on by our Patreon. The link is going to be on the video, but you can also just go to our website, themountainsidepodcast.com. and find us on Patreon that way. So you have to do whatever you're going to do by May 20th. You've got 2 weeks to get on the Instagram, get on the Patreon, and we will announce our winner on Friday, May 21st.
You're really good
Hell
at
yeah.
this.
Perfect. That's
Holy shit.
Oh my God, I can read the words on this screen.
No. Wow,
got it dialed.
you're really fucking good at that. That's amazing.
I love this job. It's my favorite job I've ever had. Everyone out there, if anyone ever asks you, do you want to work on a podcast? Say yes.
we're happy to have you. Thank you.
Wow.
Anna.
Love to be here, guys.
And
Kind of like the Don Pardo.
hopefully we'll be doing some more of these in the future too. This
be
is cool.
cool.
This is
Yeah,
our
yeah.
first like real giveaway. Well, that's not true. We did a giveaway last year with Pure Spectrum, didn't we? They gave away like
that's
a
when you did
lifetime
the
supply.
you did the live thing.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was cool. Well, shit, man. What else do you have coming up?
What do I have
Are you
coming
going
up?
out of town anytime soon?
I'm going to Florida.
Florida.
Vacation or work?
Vacationing in Florida, possibly working in Florida. I am a huge fan of Florida.
They're full on right now.
Dude,
Did you see the UFC that last?
fifth gear, dude.
Yeah.
They are running shit. Totally running the table. And I'm like, oh, man. I can't confirm this, but I bet you anything that my wife has talked to a realtor. Because they are crushing it. But
Vacation home or permanently?
well, I hope not permanently.
Okay.
But who buys
They're crushing
vacation?
it until the
But
next.
Who knows? Who buys vacation homes? I want to talk about a foreign thought to me. That's where my vacation home is. If I buy a vacation home, I'll start wearing an ascot.
Yes.
That's
You could be an Airbnb mogul,
which
dude,
I'm not.
You know?
I don't plan on buying. I don't plan on wearing an ascot. But we went hiking this morning.
Where'd you go?
It's just to Pence Park. You can crush that up to the top real fast. Dude, I walked past 4 families. Dude, I'm talking kids, full on masked up, hiking. on a trail in the wilderness.
Right.
And like I'm coming by, hey, then no eye contact, jumping off the. You'd think that I had. I do have a dog, but like an AK-47 and a MAGA hat on. Right. The way that they jumped off of the trail, like what the fuck, dude? Like, what are we doing? It's.
I've stopped wearing my mask outside because I'm fully vaccinated. So
it's outside.
Yeah,
it's outside. You're out. You're hiking. You're outside hiking.
Like, be safe. I get it. Be safe and all, but like,
dude,
outside.
Kid yelling down the trail. Get your masks on. There's someone coming. I'm
really?
Like, dude, the kid's got to be 7.
They're doing their best, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been around a lot of kids recently, and I feel like some kids have really like, especially kids that are like rule followers. They love this. They're like, oh yes, I can say, oh, you have to put a mask on, and that person didn't have their mask on, and it's like something for like them to get like worked up about. It's
what kills me, and not to shitbag on everybody wearing a mask.
You can leave that to me. Bobby's a good dude. I'm not. I'm a very bad person, and I have a lot of really unpopular opinions, and.
No, I'm about to shit on them right now.
Okay,
the people that drive their car by themselves and have a mask on, I'm like,
what?
Dude, what the fuck is
what
this?
Are you
We've
doing?
done that. We've done that. The single oh my god, the single passenger car. You know, wearing them. I've kind of written that off to people forgetting what they're. Just, oh, God,
no, come on. You really think you forget you have a mask on?
I don't know. I've walked out to the car and went, "What the fuck am I doing?" and pulled it off of me angrily. But no, the hiking thing, dude. It's just like, I get it, but like, come on, can we not do? And it is. It's getting weirder and weirder, and I don't like it because I feel when you walk past these people, there's no. These are your neighbors, and you're not making eye contact, and there's no. You're just like, hi. Because you already know what side of the fence both guys live on, and you make an immediate assumption about them, and it's like
I've been doing that with some people in my neighborhood. Like,
boy, is this divide getting bigger and bigger? I don't like it.
It's crazy because we've had so many people move into our neighborhood because people that have lived here forever are experiencing all these different things. People are moving around.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of people moving here. And not to mention that home values have skyrocketed through the roof here. If you live in a mountain area or like anywhere in the Rocky Mountain region right now, right? You can sell your home for probably
you can live down the hill and you're still crushing it.
But it's crazy. So we've had so many people move into the neighborhood, and me growing up here, I'm just kind of old school when it comes to it. Like if I'm in my neighborhood, I don't wave at everybody that's on the street. But if I'm in my neighborhood and they're like walking their dog down the road, it's a dirt road, I'll wave at them, like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, that's polite.
And the people that stare at you like, why the fuck is this guy waving at me?
Dude, the driver.
I almost automatically get pissed off and wanted to be like, what the fuck is your problem?
Wave back at me, dude. Come on.
I'm the king.
Yeah.
I'm the king of the drive-in wave. The 2 fingers off the steering wheel.
Flip 'em up,
I don't even care if I don't know who you are.
Right.
You're in we're passing each other. I'm acknowledging you. I don't know.
So when another Porsche goes cruising by, is that like a wave thing?
There's
Like a bike?
There's
like a bike guys do that.
Yeah, they do that.
Or like the
Sometimes.
Jeep Wave. I know Jeep
like the
people
Jeep
do
Wave.
that.
Yeah,
no,
that's
Porsche
a thing.
Wave is cool.
But I'm talking.
I'm talking about just being a fucking neighbor, man.
Dude, you're in my neighborhood. I'm waving to you, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
and you're
like
gonna
it.
wave back.
You're gonna wave back, or I'm gonna comment.
But I automatically go from being the nicest guy in the world, like waving at him, and then when I get that response of like,
as you should.
Why is this guy waving at me? Then I get pissed off. I'm like,
As you
yo,
should.
fuck you.
Yeah. Dude, as you should. Everybody should wave back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody
It's a
should
thing.
wave.
There's another one, old school, which I have not noticed around here. Very disappointing. Is the high beam flash for cops? How do you not tell?
Yeah.
How do you not tell oncoming
No,
traffic?
that
cops
used
are
to be
late?
a thing here.
It
too.
was.
Like, homie, slow down. I
Staple.
saw him.
You did it. Nobody does it.
Well, when we growing up in the mountains, what you mainly did it for, because you don't see that many cops, right? Occasionally.
Well, you do it for wildlife.
You do it for wildlife. So if there's elk in the road, especially at night, right?
Sure.
So the other night, I'm driving home. It's pitch black. There's no street lights here, right?
Yeah.
There's elk all over in the highway. I mean, a 45-mile-an-hour zone, right?
Yeah.
And
That nobody's doing 45 in.
people that don't know what an elk looks like,
Yeah.
it's basically a black creature at night. Super, super dark brown, right? And in the summer, they get even darker. Like their necks are black.
Yep.
They're hard to see at night, man, for a reason, because they get hunted at night. But so I'm driving down the road, flash my lights, and some dude's like, "Fuck you," you know, and turns
High
on
beams
his
you
high
back.
beams
Yeah,
at me and LEDs. I'm like, "Oh god."
Yeah. It's a dude
Yeah.
with a total light
I'm like,
rig on
"God
his
damn
truck.
it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get one of those, by the way. But but yeah, that always disappoints me. I'm like, man, what the hell happened? We're all
What
supposed to
happened to
warn
the
each
good
other.
old days? You
We're all
know.
supposed to warn each other of
Now, what would
speed
happen
traps.
to you if you were in Philly? Like, I could see that. Like, in New York, you barely talk to anybody. You don't hold the door for anybody. Like, California is kind of the same way. Like, you know,
You mean
I got a lot of
you mean-
Boston
you mean
friends,
like-
and I smile all the time.
You mean
which-
culturally?
Yeah, culturally.
The Philadelphia culture is really unique in that it's a friendly abrasiveness. It's you can everybody's very friendly until they're like, I don't know, until there's like a pound of
3
pressure.
feet.
Until there's like a pound of pressure
Right.
against. It's like, and as soon as they go to that, that's when they go into. But it's a friendly place. The in New York's completely different.
I have a lot of
and then
friends from
Boston's
Boston.
different.
A lot of friends in the industry from Boston.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy that smiles all the time. You know, that's kind of like that's a way for me to say
Smiles in Philly either.
hi. Right.
But
And they always be like, "Why are you smiling all the time?" We never trust guys that smile. You know, it's one of
no,
those
but
deals.
it's a just accepted tolerance of pretty much everything until it's not. But you know, every it's a. I crap on Philly all the time, but it's actually a very a nice place.
But when you
sometimes.
first came here, did you have some of those like reservations?
Culture
Like-
shock?
Yeah, like
Dude, every
like
day.
why is this guy waving
Still
at
do.
me? Like,
Still do. No,
Because
no,
I'm
no,
trying
because,
to think
no,
it from their perspective. You know.
No, because I totally acknowledge that I'm the fish out of water, because I am. I didn't want my kids to be. That's why, you know, I just
Yeah.
kind of took the bullet. I'm like, I don't think there's any fixing me, but hopefully you can not be like me. So that's why, you know, drag them out. But the culture shock was a bit much because there is no riffing here. That's a
Right. That's a very much an East Coast thing. Like,
dude, that is but like you can't shut me up.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, you've been in the car with me, and it's like, fucking, this guy will not shut up. That's just how it is. That's how most of it is back there. I think, I don't know if I told you when I was back home in November, I went into a food store to like buy a bottle of water, and it was the self-checkout. And the woman who was running the self-checkout started making fun of me because my credit card or the bottle wasn't scanning. And she's like, "Oh, you having a hard time with that?" And I'm like,
What happened to customer service? Right.
no. I'm like, I'm in love. This woman's making fun of me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's everything that you're deprived of when you move out of those areas. It's fun. She was ribbing me. She didn't think I'm an idiot. She was just having fun, and that's
Right.
that's how you have fun there. You needle people and you make fun of them, and it's not like that here.
No.
And
It was good to be in New York, even though it's a little bit different now. A couple weeks ago when I went out to
it's the
record
same-
with Kyle.
that's the same.
And
shit
I
too.
forgot, you know, you go into these delis and there wasn't a whole lot of like sit down restaurants that were open at the time. A lot of them have shut down, sadly,
Dude.
because rent is so high and all
Yo.
that sort of stuff, right?
That's a whole other thing. That place is going to be. Everybody keeps on saying, "Oh, well, you know, we're going to be back," and everything's. Once we get back to, there's no normal anymore. New York
Yeah.
is everything that New York is known for. forget about it, dude.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
Forget about it.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I said that, I was like, Christ.
I said the thing.
Sounded like.
No, there's still some people holding strong, but it's
No,
definitely
it's
not going
the
to be the
people.
same.
It's not the people. I'm talking about the most expensive place on earth. Well, I don't know. Is it Singapore or Hong Kong that's more expensive to live in than San Francisco and New York? Like, I don't know.
I don't know globally,
but it's up there, right?
In the United States, that's probably the two most expensive.
100%. So you're not allowed to make money, and you're at the mercy of however much they're doling out to you. You can't keep these places open. They're all closed. So, like, all these incredible restaurants, well, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
And what does that do? Like, I mean, I'd love to go back. I can't wait to go back to New York so that I can actually lay my eyeballs on it, which you and I talked about was one of the cool things about our gig and going all over the country is that you get to come back home and go, oh, it's like this here. It's like this here. It's like
right. A lot of people don't get to stay that.
Most people don't.
They stay in their bubble and they go to one place once a year, right, for a vacation.
For vacation.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
And normally it's a beach destination where it's laid back and chill.
Yeah. And a lot of those people have a lot of opinions about what those places are like, and
Right.
they've never even been to them. There's a lot of places that I've never been to that I hold feelings about that I don't know that it's true or not, but it's only on whatever news feed
We're
get
also
from.
fortunate in our business that you have to adapt to that because you're working with
working
local
with them.
people
Sure.
a lot of the
Sure.
time, you know?
And I always have to introduce myself and kind of get that out of the way that, like, yeah, dude, I talk fast and I'm loud. I'm not an ass. Like, I am an asshole. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just come off like that.
Right.
But, like, you can tell me anything. I might give
Blame
you
it on Philly.
I might
Once
give you. I
again,
might
just
give you.
shit on Philly,
You might even
right?
get a hug from me. I don't know what it is. But I just sound like a jerk. But the I don't know how we got to New York.
Yeah.
But I saw a list of, like, restaurants and bars that closed down there. Staples of New York.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's so many.
when you're going through it, it was on my phone, and I could just keep on scrolling and keep on scrolling and keep on scrolling. And I'm like, oh no, this is
What really gets me
this is
is
not
like,
good.
I mean, it's sad that they closed, but the poor people that have hung on for a year, that have tried to make it work,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they've lost. You know, these people are business owners. They don't have 401k set up. Probably they don't have all these things. You know,
No, and
they probably were taking out their retirement.
they're
to
emptying that
float
out.
Their business.
They're
yeah.
emptying that cash out like they have a coal shovel and throwing it into the furnace, and the fire's never
Right.
It's never going out. They just keep on throwing it in, and
There were some hardcore spots, like some delis and stuff that we went to that were still thriving, and that's kind of what I was getting back
well, that's
to.
where everybody's eating.
Like the lady giving you shit at the checkout.
Yeah.
Like you go in there, there's no time to like look at the menu. It's what do you want? You know, like
Yeah.
And you better have a fucking answer pretty quick, or they're gonna be pissed off at you. You know, like
Which
you don't change shit on the menu either. If you order the chicken parm sandwich, you get the fucking chicken parm sandwich. You don't get it without cheese. You don't fucking, you know, you don't change it. You don't change the roll it comes on.
dude, that's one of my favorite things. Is like I have a burned into me. You know, again culturally, like I've burned into me. There is a constant sense of urgency. If I'm ordering food, dude, if the waitress comes back a second time and my kids don't know what they want to order, oh boy, dude. What
Hellfire.
What have you guys been doing the whole time? You were talking to your sister. We're not talking right now. We're ordering food.
That's
Like,
an East Coast thing, though. Like you're
That's what I'm
expected to
saying.
know what the fuck's going on.
That's-
Yeah.
there's a
Well, because
bunch-
you can't waste the waitress's time.
No, it's important. And where it's not, you know,
Right.
you can, they're like, yo, settle down, guy. Stop yelling at your kids. We've got all day.
Right.
You know, we have all day. Chill out. So sometimes there's, culturally it's pretty funny. But, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I hope all my buddies are texting me, dude, it's happening. It's coming back. It's
I
happening.
think it is. I mean, we're starting to see an increase in it. Not huge, but I mean, to see the UFC with a packed stadium or an arena,
dude,
rather.
is there a gnarlier dude than Dana White? In terms
He's
of
all
in
over it,
terms
yeah.
in terms of a guy who's like, no, this is bullshit. Everybody has their own say. This is how I'm going to attack it. I'm making this happen. I'm wrestling this whole thing down because I'm sorry. I built this thing and I'm not letting it fall apart. There's too many people who rely on me.
Yeah, I'll move it to an island where I can
I'll
make
move
my own
it.
rules.
Yeah, I'll make this happen.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not breaking any new ground here by saying that, but it's like, wow, when when everybody's eyes are laser focused on the news and everything that's going on and how, you've got different sects, to see some dude slice right down the middle of the bullshit, which is just genius, and wrestles the whole thing down. I think that's just like...
And as a fan of the UFC, I loved seeing it because I had something to watch too.
Right? Thank
this
God
is still
for this guy.
going.
Thank
And
God.
we know a lot of those fighters. A lot of those
Yeah.
fighters train in Denver. A lot of the people that you and I know, their livelihood is that. So to see that keep
totally.
going, that's awesome.
And so the thing is like we've had Mark Montoya on, and you see his mentality, respectful to everyone. He's not going to tell you how to think. He's not he's a scary dude, but he's not a mean dude or anything like that, and just wants to, okay, now how do I navigate around this? How do I conquer this? And that's exactly what he did. And man, having people work, and I think, the way the Florida is working, stepping foot in there, what a shot in the arm to. No pun intended. What a shot in the arm to the economy in Florida, which is just, I was there a couple months ago, and I can't.
Well, the NBA went there. There's so many professional sports leagues that went there to do stuff during COVID. Because
I can't wrap my head
of the
around what's
restrictions.
being there a couple months ago.
you
It's
could
just
never
like,
get away with it in California or New York or any of these
No.
places. Yeah.
And just seeing the state of what the entertainment spaces in Florida, what they're going through, and to have a giant like Dana White just be like, yeah, this is home base now. Like, this is how we're gonna do things.
Yeah.
It's just fucking awesome, dude. I'm eager to get back at it. But as long as I'm hiking and I'm seeing these yahoos looking at me like I'm a psychopath, I don't know how long it's going to take to get back to that space. So I don't know.
We'll see. I don't think it.
Meanwhile, they're on a podcast right now going, I saw this guy with a dog, and he just walked right down.
Right.
He didn't even get out of my way. I had my kids masked up and everything. This asshole, he's probably from the East Coast. Fucking,
bet he's from Philly
What a
or
jerk.
some
I bet he's
shit.
from Philly. I bet he is. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Well, shit, man. Thanks for coming in and doing this. I know you got some plans to get out of here, and I really appreciate all your help in this. Over 50 fucking episodes, and
That's awesome.
having my back, man. And
And I appreciate you having a civilian like myself on.
yeah, I love it,
to,
man.
To chat with you, it is fun.
We'll be doing some more of these for sure. so.
It's so funny because I always I woke up this morning and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna talk to him about? and then I'm like, oh,
But then we just crushed
and
an
then I'm
hour
like-
and a half like that.
and then
you
I'm
know,
like, oh
it's
wait a second, you don't know how to shut up.
yeah.
So
Oh wait.
oh yeah, by the
Jeremy
way,
was meant for podcasting. I've been trying to tell him you got to start the Salty podcast.
The
Salty.
salty podcast, dude. Can
No.
you please start a podcast where you just like bitch about everything and let
came
your
up
East Coast like
came
go?
up with a better name.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand.
I think the Salty podcast is already taken because I looked
It
it up
is.
the
It
last
is.
time.
It is. But I'm trying to understand because I'm
Because how often do we say that? As
I am.
East
I'm just
Coasters?
like, I'm not-
trying to get where you're coming from, man.
listen. I'm trying to understand. Yeah, I'm trying to understand is kind of, and there's a very deep well of material that I could dip into because I'm trying to understand. I feel like I'm saying that like 5 times a day to my poor family. James, you left your water bottle at school again? I'm trying to understand. You drink from that, don't you?
Like every single day, right? Like
Every
it's
day.
yours. Like
Didn't we
you've
do
had
this
the same
yesterday?
one.
I'm trying to understand. So,
And this is
anyway,
why I love Jeremy Myers. So,
thinking about
Jeremy,
Bobby,
thank you so much,
buddy,
dude.
and thank you, Anna. It was always a pleasure to see Anna.
Been great to
Go ahead, drop your Instagram real quick. And
it's
stuff.
Jeremy
Go follow
Myers,
Jeremy
43.
Myers. He's got some cool
I'm
stuff
there.
on there. If you're into seeing kids getting towed behind 4Runners skiing or classic Porsches or massively jawed pit bulls and big pine cones and stuff, that's the spot to go.
It is.
Jeremy, thank you
Spot.
again. Anna,
Thanks, buddy. I
You all
love
good
you.
back there?
Thanks.
Oh yeah, we're all good back here, Bobby.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Get involved in that giveaway. Check it out. Some cool shit.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, I truly appreciate your time here at the Mountainside Podcast, and I appreciate you listening to us. One thing that will help us to ensure to keep bringing you awesome content with great guests is to please follow, rate, comment, like, or subscribe the podcast on whatever platform you're catching it on. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. We wanted to let you know that the Mountainside Podcast is now available on Patreon. If you'd like access to bonus footage, behind-the-scenes content, ad-free listening, and much more, simply find the link in our bio or visit patreon.com/themountainside.